Hey everybody, welcome back to The Cow's Opinion, where we go over the latest, greatest, and sometimes most terrible gaming news. Thank you all for joining me on a Monday, because today we have more Activision Blizzard news, but for once, not really their fault. So as we know, they just launched Diablo 4, which has its problems with, say, Battle Pass for a full price game, but has been getting great reviews from both critics and players and seems to be kind of a return to Blizzard for their best efforts. However, it looks like the forces of hell have decided to fight a new way because they are experiencing massive DDoS attacks, and that sucks. So we're just going to look at it for just a minute because this past weekend, specifically yesterday, June 25th, a lot of people had problems. They were getting disconnected or they could not get online. Now, as you know, with online games like MMOs or Diablo 4 where you have to have a connection, the more people trying to play, the harder it is to get online. And of course, more people go try to play on a weekend than a weekday because that's how most people's schedules are. So, Battle.net released the following statement. We are investigating the login issues affecting Diablo 4 and working to resolve these as soon as possible. Players may experience queues until we work on this issue. Now, later, the company did confirm that it was dealing with an actual DDoS. Now, that means distributed denial of service. Basically, somebody decides that they don't like your website or your game and wants to mess with it. So what they do, and this is like very basic, I had to have somebody explain it to me. What they do is they send so many requests to the website or the game servers that it just overwhelms them. If the game is meant to have like 100,000 players, they'll flood it with a couple million requests in a short time. And you just keep sending it, and the system tries to keep up and eventually stumbles, and then it crashes. We are currently experiencing a DDoS, which may result in high latency and disconnections for some players, and we are actively working to mitigate this issue. Now, some players said that it was half a day or longer, and we have this wonderful tweet right here. When it comes to live game service issues, there are numerous spaces where a small connection hiccup can interrupt your plans. Some happen in your home, between you and the servers, but worst of all are groups issuing these attacks. Now, this is doubly important for a game like Diablo 4 because on the hardest difficulty, you have permadeath. Unfortunately, your character can be permanently killed if you have a bad connection and drop. The character may just stand around in game and get killed by enemies, or the game may accidentally read that as you go into 0 hit points and die. So it's not very cool. Now, people were just trying to log in all day, and it's terrible. And it is saying that by now, which it's Monday, this was yesterday, chances are very good you can actually log in. And according to Blizzard, the attacks have ended. And while that is good news, this is risk because, like I said, live service games have this major disadvantage. If the players can't log in, they can't play the game. And Diablo 4 is already leaning into this and has other things like a controversial decision to make you start a new character from scratch each season to progress their corresponding battle pass, which is really dumb. But late yesterday, there was another one Sunday afternoon, but it went a lot quicker, which is good. Hopefully the outages didn't claim the lives of too many hardcore players. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. There's no reason Diablo 4 needs to be online only, except that Blizzard wants it that way for, battle passes, verification reasons. It makes Blizzard's life easier, but it makes the player's life worse. Because you have to have an online connection. Your internet can't fail. If you're playing a hardcore mode, your character can die. This is just not a great decision. Most of the time, in fact, virtually every time, a developer says you need an online connection to play our game. If it's not an MMO, no, you don't. I remember the last SimCity game. Oh, well, you got to be online only. We use the servers that we have. A computer can't possibly run this at home. But somebody proved that wrong with just an average PC gaming rig. So, this is developer's choice. not anything else. But I'm not going to come down too hard on Blizzard for this because, this is somebody probably just either screwing around or angry at Blizzard for one of the decisions that they made recently and thinking, well, I'm going to punish them. But they're only punishing the gamers. So let me know in the comments below. Did you try to play Diablo 4 this past Sunday and have a bit of trouble? Or do you just not care? Or do you think maybe Blizzard deserves this after all the other stuff that we've seen? Like, say, Bobby Kotick going on and saying there was no sexual impropriety in my company, even though he's been literally charged and found guilty and paid fines for that. Let me know down there, and I hope you're having a wonderful start in your week. Play more games, because games are awesome, and you deserve awesome.